So, welcome to the Sunday night non-duality talk. Here from boiling hot Spain. So, first of all, yeah, I do these talks usually every Sunday. I'm not sure about next Sunday because I'm going to be in Berlin, but I'm going to bring my little tablet with me, and it's hard to do questions on that because they pop up and disappear. But I might try and work out in the week how I can see the chat box. So there's a maybe. Also, underneath the video, there is links there to my talks and events, my book, and the donate page. And thank you to those who donate. It really helps me out. And Facebook and private sessions. Now, someone wanted me to say something about private sessions, about, hi Keel, about private sessions. It's just very different from this because there's this quite intense interaction where there's a discussion going on, and as the discussion's going on, all the kind of misconceptions and ideas just get ripped from under the feet, as it were. So that's what it's like. Yeah, that's what it's like. It's just just much more intense, which can't really happen here because I don't do Skype calls on here. Because then there's a lot more interaction with the questions. Everyone gets to ask questions, and that's I enjoy that very much. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that. So, non-duality. What non-duality isn't? Well, first of all, non-duality isn't anything, because it's everything. It's what the seeker is actually looking for. What it isn't is therapy. It's not therapy. This is not about improving the story. So I don't give advice. No, I just don't give advice. There's no capacity here for that in this subject. Yeah, so there's no advice, personal advice, because there's a world full of people who are happy to give personal advice. It's not spiritual. This is not a spiritual message. This is not about a separate God or nirvana or getting anywhere. This is not about getting anywhere. This is about really talking about what already is, which is all there is. What there is, this here, is all there is. There can't be anything else. And this idea of finding something else is a misconception. It's a concept that there is something going to happen, and that energetic construct of feeling separate lives in the next moment because it's trying to find a way out of itself. So all it can do is think there is the next moment or the future. And this is colluded by the whole of this appearance. This whole appearance colludes in this idea of time. The idea that there is a future, there was a past. The past appears now. The past appears in this as a thought, as an idea, same as this idea of the future. When that's completely seen through by no one, it's really obvious, it's really clear, and the character still lives in that apparent time of planning and talking about what happened last week or something like that. But what that is, there is a freedom from anything being attached to that as a reality. It's just the character living in the world. And it's totally free to do that. There's no longer somebody saying, well, that's not freedom, that's not... Those are just ideas that appear, that there are certain things which aren't freedom. And this is pointing to that everything is freedom, everything is free. Everything is made of aliveness. energy, life. And what it is really is nothing. And nothing is not a concept. You can't have a concept out of nothing. It's impossible to describe nothing. It's just not a possibility because it isn't anything. But what I mean that is nothing, it's nothing to speak of. It's not based in this so fake reality of time where it has any meaning. It completely strips away that there is a purpose to it, that there is meaning to be found. Meaning can happen as part of the appearance, but in the whole of this apparent reality, it's not going anywhere. It's not moving. There's no reality to it. There's no meaning in it. You could say it is the meaning, but without any meaning, meaningless. But in such a beautiful way. Also, this is not about states. It's not about states of bliss. See, the sense of self wants to feel a state. It wants to feel like it's arrived, it's got something, that it's like, oh yeah, I've got this energetic thing happening, it must be that. Or there's a bliss appearing. Well, bliss is a red herring. Bliss is a red herring that spiritual teachers throw out to the seeker as something that can be attained or reached. Bliss can appear, but it's no more an appearance as sleepiness or laughter. It's not. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nice, like, you know, eating a nice ice cream or something. But it's when bliss can occur, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. Nobody's reached anywhere, because this is about the end of the illusion of there being somebody who can reach somewhere. That is like a curtain that drops, and nothing happens to the wall it drops for, because there's no longer anyone for it to drop, for anyone to get anything. It's the end of getting anything. It's the end of getting anywhere, doing anything. The end of the doer, of the seeker. So hot. Oh my God. Let me get... Yeah, so if you want to ask questions, please do in the live chat. Or comments, or, you know, we can discuss. It's good to discuss this. Oh, and one thing I wanted to say as well about the Skype sessions. If you feel like you want a Skype session, but you don't really know what you have to say or want to say, it's amazing how something just arises in the moment. Something just arises. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. Hi, Sebastian. Let's make this a bit bigger. What holds on to the belief that I am body-mind? I hold on to the belief that I am body-mind. This appearance of being a separate person living in the body, which is very confined. Thanks, Steve. Which is very confined to this area. It feels like it's confined to this area. That believes that I am the body-mind. It's a dog chasing its own tail. Who is believing it? I am believing it's the same one, going round in circles. Hi, Sergey. It's that one that holds on to it. It's literally just an appearance of a me, which is energetic, contracted, confined. It's almost like a psychosis, because it can't see a way out of it. So it's asking what holds on to it. Well, it holds on to it. It lives in its own reality bubble. Hi, Sunny. Yeah, it lives in its own little reality bubble. And it really does chase its own tail all the time. It seems secular, but it's not really going anywhere. It just appears like that, and it believes it. Hi, Tangerine. And it can't find a way out of it. It's not that illusory self that hears what is being spoken. Hearing just happens. How do I release myself? You don't. You don't. You can't. It's either the illusion is totally revealed or it's not. But that one that's in that cyclical cycle can't do anything about it, because the cyclical cycle of the self is the mechanism. It is like an engine. It's just, that's what it is. It can't do anything else. It can't find a way out. Excuse me. You can't release yourself. It's just revealed. It's not revealed to you. It's like when a curtain pulls back and the stage is revealed. It's not revealed to anybody. It's just revealed. Yeah. Yeah. And that one who's in the cycle can't, it won't be revealed to it. It just won't. It's that illusion which is revealed. And that, there's a possibility of that false self just completely disintegrating, even momentarily, or for a few minutes, or hours, or days, or weeks. I've heard some people say it's happened for years, and then the sense of self comes back. What a bummer that is. But when it comes back, I suspect that it can't kind of be seen. It's just back into seeking again. Yeah. It's a total possession in a way. Not like kind of a demon-y way or a ghost way. It's just like a possession of the body. And I have no idea why it is there. I have no idea. It just is like that. I don't know why anything is here. Computers, walls, selves. But I can say that the self is not the self. It's not it. And it's somehow cognized, say recognized, but not really, cognized that it's not it as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't come to these talks doing something else. There's also other reasons that people come to these talks, because the seeker wants to find something spiritual, wants to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Well, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is this. This is it. And it's found that it's always just been this. And it's never been anything else. And any idea of being something else is this, appearing. Because nothing's excluded. Everything that is what is. So when something's excluded, well, it can't be this and it can't be that. Well, thinking that is it too. It's so inclusive, it's so all-inclusive that it's utterly tricky for me. It's just too tricky. It's just can't get it. Because you just can't get it. I can't get it, no one gets it. No speaker gets it, no matter what they say, unless I live in total la-la land. Sunny, at times when I listen to spiritual discourses, I feel guilty that I am not doing something right and hence I'm missing it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not missing it. There's nothing to miss. This is the irony. There's nothing to miss. It's already here as everything. Even the sense I am missing it is here as everything. What is revealed is that nothing was ever missed. That all there was looking for something that was missed. It's the opposite. Turn the whole thing on its head and you get a better idea. Hi, Susie. I had that feeling this morning. I was consumed with an issue this morning. My pain body was unbearable. I just sat with it. Sat and sat and sat. So painful it passed. Yeah. 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 Most things pass. Everything passes, really. Except for this. This doesn't pass because it's not actually going anywhere. But the appearances change. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle that this is here at all, that that's just sitting in this room happening. I mean, wow. Where does it come from? It's just amazing. But I do hear you. It can be very painful, this appearance sometimes. Yeah, let's go back to Sunny's comment. Your spiritual teachers teach you that there is something else. That's really leading you up the garden path, because there isn't anything else. But there does, when the sense of self is not there anymore, and it's not died, it's not no explosion of, well, there is a wow there is a wow, but it does deepen as well. It does deepen. It's like it becomes more, oh, I don't know, it's impossible to describe. More revealed somehow, but there's no, yeah, it just lights up. There's no end to anything. It's not the end, because see, the seeker thinks it'll come to a standstill. Everything will come to a standstill, and there'll be rest. But it's not like that. There is no one to have rest. What do you mean, Sunny? How? I'm afraid I can't remember anything I've just said. How does it light up? Yeah, that's impossible to describe. It's like, I can only speak in analogies. So when the sense of self is no longer there, it's revealed that all there is this. All there is this. It's very simple. And it just kind of changes over time. It just changes. I can't really describe it. It just becomes more somehow. But there's nothing here experiencing that. It's not more for anybody. It's just more or less. Oh, I'm always full of contradictions because it is so contradictory all the time. Because there's no words for it. Even the way it's spoken of changes over time. It feels like it does. And I guess it's different for everybody, because like Tony said, there was a big wow, and now it's kind of a smaller wow. But here it's just wonder, wonder, wonder. Sebastian, when does illusion reveal itself and why? There is no when. This is when. And why? There is no reason why. There is no reason why there is anything. There's much of a why to that as there is to why is there a planet spinning in space with the moon and the sun? Unless you're a flat earther. Sunny, from mind's perspective, it feels scary not to exist. To not exist. Yes, yes, because it can't imagine it. To it feels like death. But when it's not there, it wasn't anything. There was nothing ever to be scared of, because all that's left is just still sitting in a room. It's only scary to this one that thinks it's alive. But it's not alive. There is only aliveness. Only aliveness. Yeah, but I remember that kind of fear to not exist. Thank you, Tangerine. I'm glad you think so. I just feel like I'm stumbling in the dark when I try to describe. Hello, Miller. Before final collapse, did you ever have, oh, maybe this is it? Actually, here it was more like a staggering drunk. It was like being on a ping pong table, being battered backwards and forwards. It was almost like I was staggering. At one point, I was actually just bumping into things all the time. Walking, I'd be careful across the roads. Literally felt like there was being beaten up. But that's not true for everybody. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. We're all such unique appearances, unique humans. I guess maybe some people had, oh, this is it, maybe this is it. Funnily, the day that I woke up and was no longer a separate entity, I didn't even realize it. I just thought something weird had happened. Oh, thank you, Sunny. Is that before final collapse? Yes, yes. That was going on for a while, for quite a while. I was useless. Still went to work, but phew, God, luckily it was only 2 days a week. Yeah. A lot of tears as well, a lot of tears. Like it's like a long section of tears, like a 5-week period of tears. Susie, I bump into walls a lot, my balance is unstable, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Also, recognition is a contradiction, says Keel. The recognition already was there, right? Words, but that must be amazing. Yeah, recognition is a kind of a lowly word, but words don't describe really what's going on. So it always sounds like a contradiction. But really all there is this. Speaking about this is always contradictory in some way. Not always, sometimes contradictory. Like saying it's everything and nothing. It sounds like an utter contradiction. See, what is sitting there now in the room, thinking it's somebody, if there's that is happening, I never assumed that because I don't see me's, but that is there, that is everything. That is all there ever will be. And that appearance may change, but that's it too. That's it. So simple. Sebastian, there's a great desire for that illusion to disappear. Yes, because it causes suffering. Yes, I get that. Sunny, if I don't continue to insist that my problems exist, then they don't exist. Continue to exist. If that's what's happening, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. Sorry. Sebastian, it feels like I was only born to finish illusion. Well, you won't finish illusion. Even the illusion is aliveness appearing as illusion, as the illusion of self. Even that. Really, this is such the wonder. It's really the only reason I don't speak to help people. I speak to communicate this wonder, to point to the illusion, because it really is wonderful. And I know people all the time now whose this illusion is just dropping or disappearing, or whatever you call it. Even though that's not, you know, it sounds like something happening. There isn't, because even that is life too. But it's such a wonder. It's the only thing that seems valuable. Hi, Rafael. Hola, Irene. ¿Qué tal? Anything that seems valuable. It seems like it is. It seems like it is, yeah. But really, everything that's appearing, everything is so, there's so much in this appearance that it's missed by looking for something else. The subtle colours. Now I've got a white wall. When I look at it, it's all shades of colours. There's light, there's sounds. In the story, there is so much value in the story. Hennessy, the self wants to position relative to non-duality. Yes, yes, and it does that in so many ways. Concepts, ideas, beliefs, the right non-duality, the wrong non-duality, this and that. It's just a different sense of seeking. It's just a different way of seeking. Yeah. And feeling safe as well. If I have a concept about non-duality, if this is the right non-duality, this is the wrong non-duality, I'm safe in that. But this, what is being spoken of, is the complete stripping away of any safety for me. There is no safety. It's the end of safety. It's the end of security. The end of certainty. It's the end of it. And that's why it's so terrifying for that illusion of self. It's like, oh my God, what will I do? It'll be awful. Not having surety, not having security, because the sense of self is always looking for security. It looks for it in non-duality, looks for it in material objects, love, causes. It's always looking for security, because the sense of self is insecurity itself. It's so insecure because it's lost. It's being kicked out of the garden. And everybody feels like that. Sunny, thank you for speaking from only that level and not making my illusions real even for conversation's sake. Yeah, I'd be doing you an injustice. Yeah, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with therapy, you know, because there's nothing wrong with improving the appearance. You know, if I didn't want to improve the appearance, I could be sitting here with matted hair and wearing a potato sack and stuffing my face with cake getting ill. It's not like that. The human continues as it is. It may change in some of its habits or hobbies or behaviors in a way, less neurosis, but it's not about, well, there is no one, so I don't care. There is no one to care. It's the end of caring. It's just life, just life. Eternal. Timeless. Spaceless. Because the me makes concepts out of, well, if there's no me, then no one will care. No one's doing the life of that person anyway. The me claims it, usually after the event, but no one's doing that life. No one's breathing that body. No one's growing the hair. No one's choosing to drink this or that. This is life appearing as that. The person is not doing any of that. The person doesn't do anything. It just is pain. It's just a nuisance. And yet is life being a nuisance. N, says Steve. Hi, Stephen. Oh, you're welcome. Having concepts or positions on non-duality is no different from politics. It's a bit of a safety net, really. The person can't help it. It needs to have floors to stand on. At the end of the me is the floor being ripped away, and it's just space. Even though I just said there's no space, but it's just space. There's no longer a position in the body. Steve, I read a journal on my phone from last year, like reading about someone else's life. So much anguish, so much me. Hard to know where that all went, but it has significantly diminished. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Like sometimes people want to hear the story of Lisa, you know? It's just like, it's like someone else's life. And I'm sure everybody feels like that, you know, because we seem to change, you know, the appearance of the human changes. It becomes more intelligent or less intelligent. It has more discernment or less discernment. Because the story of Lisa is totally irrelevant to what I'm speaking of. Hi, Pradeep. Is the image of the self our self we carry all the time? And that image of the self get happy or hurt? Is that the self an illusion and apparently falls away? Well, being happy or hurt can happen with or without a self. The self is the one that thinks it's getting hurt, or it is happy, or it is laughing, it is anxious. What falls away is the it. The it is anxious, the it is happy. That's what goes, not the appearance of the human, which is life. You know, the appearance throws things at the human, and throws things, well, not even at the human, just throws things. It's just constantly, you know, appearing in so many amazing ways. It's that it's happening to me that goes. That's the illusion. So it is an image. It's more than an image and more than a thought. Sorry, Sonia, we'll get back to your question. It's totally energetic, psychological, magician's illusion. It's totally in its self-belief. Hi, Diego. It's not just an image and not just a thought, it's a feeling. I am me and I live in this body and I am real and I need to find a way out, or I need to find this or that. And this is my life and I'm doing it. And I'm happy and I'm sad and all those things. Sunny, can you frame one sentence like a mantra so that when the sense of person arises, then that sentence will act as a reminder that there is no person? No. Because it will be the sense of me that gets hold of that mantra, hoping something will happen from it. I cannot give any practice at all, because practice is just what's happening. It's not happening to anyone. It just feels like it's happening to somebody. It just feels like it. I guess the reminder is to keep going to non-duality talks, because a mantra is such a set thing. It's a practice. No, I'm sorry. Hi, Hennessy. Is it a kind of possession? As an analogy, sorry, my cushion slipped. As an analogy, yes. Not as a reality. But as an analogy, it can appear like that. And anyway, I've never done mantras. I tried a few times, got bored very quickly. This character's useless at that kind of thing. Can't stick to anything. Just as well. Hard to stick to anything anyway. Now it's impossible. Because what wants to do the mantra is the person. The person wants to be reminded that there is no person. It's too tricky, because the person gets hold of everything. It gets hold of every single thing. It takes possession of everything. Now, in these sorts of talks, what can happen is it slips under the door of the person, as it were. As I think a mantra would actually solidify it. Practice solidifies seeking, enhances seeking, strengthens seeking, because there's a thought that the practice is going to lead somewhere. And there's nowhere for it to lead to, because there isn't the next moment. It's never going to arrive. Hi, Thomas. Do you know what suchness or thingness is? No. Suchness. I've heard the word used. but here it doesn't mean anything. Thingness. No, do you? Be interesting to see what you say. Sunny, besides your live talks and old videos, which I'm watching and loving these days, oh, thank you, which else non-duality talks would you recommend? I like Rebecca Maroon. I like Ella. I like Tony. I like Andreas Muller. I'm sure there are more. They're just, ones that I like. Doesn't mean that others are not good. It's just here, just Paul Morgan Summers. Just some speakers, when I hear them, it just makes everything sing. Thomas, like in Zen. No, I've never studied Zen. I stayed in a Buddhist monastery once. But I never really studied it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not even a novice when it comes to Zen. It's just never had any interest for me. Seemed a little too serious. Hi, Ella. So true, Lisa, so true. There is no one doing its own life. Everything happens so perfectly. It does. Yeah. Because everything that is this can't be any other way. There are no imperfections in it. Even the feeling that it's not perfect is perfect because it can't be any other way. It's so whole, so complete, and yet never stays still. It has to be perfect. It is perfect. It can only be what is. It's a symphony with all different sounds, but it's the same sound coming out of nothing. It's the same music coming out of nothing, but changes constantly and is utterly perfect all the time. Pradeep, but the thought seems to show there is something. Can you expand on that, Pradeep? Hennessy, perfect for who? Perfect for nobody. It's that somebody who thinks it should be perfect for who that is illusory. It appears, for sure, it appears that I am someone. When that goes, and that's not there, it's perfect for nobody. There isn't anybody. The title of my book, There Is No One. Pradeep, thoughts are all over the place. Yeah, but they're just thoughts being all over the place. That's all they are. They're nothing else. They have no other meaning. Except if there's a story appearing about them. And that's just a story. Steve, I think this quest to overcome suffering by working on oneself is such a trap. Do you agree? Yes. Yes. I think the trap is to work on oneself to achieve freedom of oneself. Because it's always the self that's trying to achieve that for itself. Therein lies the trap. Trying to improve your conditioning or relationship or things like that in therapy is, well, great, I guess, if that's working. But to overcome oneself, to be free of oneself, just leads to more seeking. Because it can't do it. It's a hermetically sealed hamster ball. No way out of it. Sebastian, could this illusion be compared with a movie playing out on itself? Yes, as an analogy, as a metaphor. Yes, everything is playing out on itself, and we can't say what itself is, what this is, because there's no words for it. Hennessy, but a perfection is felt by you. No, no, it just is, like the sky is blue. I don't need to see that the sky is blue. The sky is blue, and it's utterly perfect in its blueness. No one needs to see it. Looking at it might happen, but no one's looking at it. Sunny, when you say all is always perfect, one part of me says yes to it, and then questions arise about all the horrible things that are happening and how many people are suffering in the world. Yes, yes, yes. I know, seeing that as perfection, but not in the way that humans see perfection. The human generally has a compassion and a kindness, even though lots of horrible things happen. You know, it happens out of psychosis, I guess. Psychotics. Psychos. But life is appearing as that, and it can't be any other way. And the perfection behind that is not the human perfection. As humans, we can't help but want things to be better. It's just our nature. It's just the nature, generally. Most people I meet, otherwise we'd be all killing each other outside in the street, wouldn't we? Right now, if we were all terrible people. But yeah, and even the feeling that is horrible and that is terrible, as the human condition, is also perfection. The so-called fight of good and evil in the world is the perfection, because it can't be any other way. What is appearing has no moral. Otherwise, there'd be a person there with a moral who would try and change it, a God with a morality who would make it appear in another way, but that's a fairy tale. Pradeep. What I meant was, if this is it, the thoughts doesn't seem to allow it to be, this is it. No, because the thoughts are attached to the sense of self. The sense of self is in its own reality, having its own kind of neurotic thoughts, and not being able to see that this is it, because the sense of self feels like there must be something else. That there must be something else. It can't just be this. This is not good enough. This is not enough. That's the apparent reality the sense of self lives in, that this is not enough. There has to be something more. Thomas, I've just been watching a talk about the performance artist Marina Abramovic. Have you heard of her? Her work is fascinating. I have, but I don't really know like the route she's going down at the moment. She was talking about Zen concepts of thingness and suchness and how they relate to art. Anyway, I feel like there is somethingness here, although I can't really grasp it. Yeah, that's right. There is a somethingness and a nothingness that can't be grasped and be known. Can't be known, grasped, thought of, but is. There's another contradiction. Steve, it's such an irony that seeking intensifies suffering. What it did for me. Yeah. Yeah, it did for me too. Yeah. Until seeking stopped. And intense seeking stopped well before the whole illusion of a person called Lisa, who thought she was real, started dropping away. Yeah. Okay, I've got 10 minutes left. It's like, I'm going to sound like I'm calling out spiritual teachers now, but that's how it is here, and this is what is being said. So spiritual teachers who throughout practice are like throwing out little treats to follow, little prizes that you'll get, little prizes that you have to work hard for, and that just intensifies the seeking, because it's just totally overlooked. That's all there is what is totally overlooked. Hi, Major. The sense of self feels as if every person, every object encountered is the self's relationship to it. And so I give it meaning where there is none. It kind of bites. Yeah, because the sense of self feels it's separate from everything else, and that it's all happening to it. It is like the center of gravity. It's like the center of gravity. Everything is coming towards it. That's how it feels. It gives meaning to everything because it's separate from it. So life can become very tricky. Thomas, I think I'm waiting for something to happen. It's a hellish way of life. Yes, it is. Because it's living in the illusion of time, that something's coming, and it doesn't. It's literally a change on the palette. It's a change in the symphony. The symphony changes its tone, but it's still the same sound coming out of nothing. It's the same thing. Nothing actually happens. When the sense of self goes, nothing happens. I'm even waiting for you to say something that will make me pop. Yeah, exactly. That's really common. Really common that I'm gonna say this nice little gem that is gonna be the answer to everything. And it's not. So I go to another talk, or I go to another speaker, and I'm waiting for that sentence that's gonna give me the final realization. Yeah, the final sigh. Ah, at last I'm got here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too, Thomas. Like some combination of words as sunny. Yeah, the magic words, the magic beans. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, everyone's saying, yeah, that's right. That's seeking. That is seeking. Waiting is another seeking trick. Waiting. Okay, let's look at waiting. Waiting is a psychological illusion. It's a psychological illusion. Steve, when seeking drops, it seems to get replaced by enjoyment. This is enough, but I wouldn't say the whole thing dropped away. Still a location, still a here. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, still a here. Well, if there's no seeking for anything, nor there is, but there's still a sensation of location, then, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just when some people say certain things and it's like, yeah, there's a recognition there, or a, God, you have to be so careful with words and non-duality. There's a recognition there, like, yeah, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. Yeah, waiting. It's another trick. It's another time trick, waiting. Can you find what you're waiting for? Even as the idea of time, it's all illusion. It's all illusory. Because it doesn't matter what the magic words are. Nothing will happen. The next moment won't come. Or thinking that you're going to jump from one state to another. Yeah, and this is not about states. Sensations in the body, thoughts and feelings and physical sensations happen. But they're not states. Because it's like the me thinks there's going to be a state of utter peace. For the human, that's not true. Sunny, don't be careful to fit the words in the non-duality box. Your flow is so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't want to conform anyway. It's just so wonderful, so wonderful, so free, so free. Non-duality is a bit of a sort of a tight word sometimes, you know. Freedom's a better word. So free. I'm not free because there's no one to be free. No one's free. Nobody's free. There's just freedom. Ella, Lisa, there really is no seeker and no speaker, is there? No. The sounds of this voice, the hearing of the words, the body sitting in the chair, the light appearing, is all the same thing. It's just this one thing arising as whatever the heck happens, joy, thoughts, whatever, everything. Yes. Yes. Exactly. It's just whatever's arising, whatever's happening. And it's not personal to the human. This appearance is not personal to this human. This human, in many ways, is utterly irrelevant. Unless you're trying to chase me down the road with a knife, then it will feel irrelevant. Survival instinct will kick in. But really, in this appearance, it's irrelevant. It's not personal. Even the feelings that arise are not personal. It's just whatever's arising. It's like when you watch a movie, right? And the movie makes you laugh or cry or makes you fearful or afraid for the person in the film. None of those feelings are personal. They're just arising from the response from the film. And when that sense of seeking is gone, it's just the same as that. It's an impersonal response, automatic. It's a wonder. Yeah, it's just like a movie. Wild. Wild. Unbound, unpinned, free fall, wild. The seeker tries to pin it down to, is it this, is it this, is it this? It's nothing. It's nothing that can be pinned down. We are your beloved disciples. Please, no. No, no. Thank you. I know you're meaning that tongue in cheek. But there's definitely nothing here who would want that, because there's nobody who knows anything. Nobody who knows anything. Yeah, scarily wild, says Ella. Yeah, for the me, it's terrifying. Oh my God. But then, you know, that just, the pillars get pulled down in the me temple, and then there never was a temple there in the first place. It was just the passing of an appearance. You know, when you watch the film and it's wild and like say it's a thriller and it's exciting and scary, then you switch it off and go make a cup of tea. It's like it never happened. It's actually quite like that. It's like it never happened. And then we'd have to wash her feet. Oh my God, no. Yes, yes, and adorn me with flowers and chant my name. Oh, I'm a little bit scathing of that thing. But it's all okay, even that's okay too, you know, it's whatever happens. But there's no freedom in it. Can't find freedom. Sergey, thank you for your clarity. Oh, thank you, Sergey. Sounds so good not knowing anything. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's just like a leaf on the wind. Thomas, I find it amazing that I can type words in this box and this person on the screen answers my questions. Yeah, isn't it amazing? Tell you what it's like being a child again. I'm constantly distracted. I get very distracted. There was no one in control whatsoever, only the impression that there was. Yes. It's just like flicking off a movie and going make a cup of tea. It has that much relevance. Haha, says Thomas. Om Gani, Om Gam Gana Padmi Ti. Sorry, I'm not good at these words. Lisa Lennon, Namo Nama. Oh God, I think you know, since you know, in the last year and 2 years or 2 year and a half, I am the least spiritual person. Yeah. When seeking drops, in most people I know, so does that whole thing. Not everybody. I guess it's very much in your culture. Like if you're in a very Indian culture, that might still remain there. You know, that's okay. That can be beautiful. But here, you know, I was brought up with an atheist family, so there's no conditioning, no spiritual conditioning here. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hopefully will be online next Sunday, unless I do a spontaneous talk, which I haven't done recently because the weeks are just whizzing by, and before I know it, it's Sunday, and I'm just like, oh, it's Sunday. But I will try and do one. Thank you, Keel. You wanted flowers? Yeah. Love flowers in gardens. Not a romantic. Oh, I'm terrible. Yeah, so I will try and do a talk next Sunday. The thing is, when I do it on my iPad, the questions pop up and disappear in like 5 seconds. So I can't go down the questions, but I'll see if I can work it out. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your interaction. I always really enjoy it. And look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, bye.